today we're down Fontigary, new mark for us. Got some information. I'm not going to say who I got it off because loads of people will be messaging him. Obviously I don't want to cause that sort of stuff. He went out of his way, pinpoint where I needed to go. I knew roughly where to go because I've seen him down here before. So we got the basic information. It's full of holiday makers down here. We'll have about 3 hours down and about 3 hours up, according to the information I've been given. So yeah, we've never been down here actually fishing. We've only been down here with the missus on a barbecue and stuff on the beach. We've got rotten bottoms on just in case. We thought we had more rotten bottoms than we actually do, so hopefully we don't get stuck too much. One good thing is, yeah, we got loads of weights ready to go. It's just the clips we didn't bring many of. So if we get stuck a couple of times, as long as we get the clip back, we'd be alright. We don't really care about the weight. I'll show you the setup now. Apologies about that, guys. Had holiday makers asking Dad questions, so it's a bit hard to talk, can't you? But you all know the process of a rotten bottom pretty much. You've got your rotten bottom clip. You tie a piece of, we use 10-pound line. Some people use less. We just prefer using 10-pound just so it gives it that little bit more strength, especially wind it in. Don't get me wrong, people probably don't have issues with it, but it's just our way of doing it, I suppose. So yeah, it's not a very strong line really. So the idea is, obviously, when this clip by here hits the water, that pushes the pin out. The way to come, you will have about, I don't know, 4 inches, 6 inches of line tied to the weight. So if the weight does get stuck, you've got 10-pound line then, which is going to snap, and then you can get your rig back in. As long as nothing else gets stuck, you'll be fine. So yeah, it's a good process. It works 9 times out of 10, in my eyes anyway. I've never really had any problems with them. Some people use the foam and pin. Me and Dad's never actually, well, I think Dad's used it over the years, but we've always just stuck to the Gemini ones. Never know, we might give the pin ones a try one day. There we are. Bluey and squid. Let's give it first cast, see what we can get. I'll bring you back in a minute, guys. No luck at the moment, guys. We've only been up for about half hour or so. 2 rods are out. Dad's got his 2 rods out. We both got on Bluey and squid, and then we got Sandeel on the other rod. We have got a few practice of Sandeel, so we have been recommended to use Sandeel down here. So I'm going to give it a go. Dad's caught loads of fish on Sandeel over the years. I haven't really tried it that much, so I can't really comment on it. So yeah, it's looking nice down here. It's a lovely venue. You've got cliffs behind you. Obviously I'll swing the camera around just so you can see. You've probably seen them in many videos, but I'm gonna give you some advice. When the tide comes back in, make sure you don't fish on too big of a tide, because it will push you right against them cliffs. And if you go for a wee or anything like that, don't stand underneath them cliffs, because you will have boulders come down on your head and they'll kill you outright. So I don't recommend that, obviously. Just down by there, you've got Rooks Point. And if I swing you back this way, yeah, that's Aberfour, just, yeah, and over to the right of where we are is Aberfour. Out in the water, obviously you can see the big dome thing, which is pretty famous. It's 2 or 3 of them. So yeah, that's Aberfour, and we're practically in the middle of the 2 of them. So like I said, you've got Rooks Point over that way, Aberfour that way. In the middle you've got Fontigary. I'm not sure how good the footage come out for the rotten bottoms. It should be alright, but if it's not, I'll check the footage in a bit and I'll do basically a part 2 of it so I can show you when I wind in, so you can have another look at it. All settled in now in a new house, so I got more time now. Thankfully I got myself another job starting on Thursday. Well, I say it's a new job, not really a new job. I'm going back to tow station where I spent 10 years nearly. So I know I'll have some free time as well to go fishing, and obviously family time. Sorry if I turn my back. Let me stand this way. Oh, that's better. So yeah, we never fished down here, guys, but we gotta try it. We've been meaning to get on here over the last, well, probably since last year, to be honest with you. There's loads of places where we want to go, but obviously we can't do everything all in one go. I got loads of information on my Facebook. If people are giving me advice, obviously I've asked for the advice, don't get me wrong, but I've always got on here for future. So any of the marks that I've asked about, I got it basically, so when I go to that mark I can reread it back and go, oh, tell you what, this is what this person said, we'll try that. I stopped off at Ronda Taco Shop up the valleys, because that's where I'm living now, living up in the Ponte area. So that's my local taco shop now. Lovely guy, don't know his name. He had he said sandios. You want some sandios, do you? I got more sandios than probably anyone. So I was laughing. So I can briefly show you how to do the rotten bottom. So like I said, you got about 6 inches roughly of line, 10-pound line. Just, we tend to give it a spin. I'll sort that thing out. Flip it through the eye of the weight. Push it for the eye of the weight, I should say. And then there's a hole in the red like cap, I want to call it like a cap. Push it over and drop down. I can give that sandy oil now, 2 sandy oil on, give it a cast out, see what we can get. See you in a bit, guys. Pretty sure, guys, on our left hand rod I got a bite, I think. Keep an eye on it. I don't care what it is. At the end of the day, never been here before, so any fish account. Specifically not a doggy. You're all gonna laugh at me if it turns out to be a doggy, ain't you? That's why I always say no doggies. Yeah, by the look of it, guys, there was a bit of seaweed out there. I tightened up and I could see the seaweed basically bobbing in the sea. It's still doing it now, so I know it wasn't a bite. But I'm gonna wind it in a minute. Probably about 5 minutes or so, and give it a check. Well, that right rod maybe, potentially. I'm going to keep an eye on these guys, and I'll bring you back. dropping pretty quick now, guys. We've walked probably 30-40 yards down. I think we've got about another hour and a half roughly until low water. So you never know, we might have a few. Who knows? Can only try. It's really nice to get down here. It's always been a mark that we've always wanted to fish. And we've seen some wicked fish come off here as well over the years. As I said previously, you got Aberfoyle just to the right of you, and then you got Roost Point just to the left of you. If this was too busy today, we would have gone straight onto Roost Point because it's pretty much around the corner, and give that a go. We will get down here one day. It's another place that we wanted to fish. Seems like there's quite a lot of seaweed out there at the moment. The rod tips are sort of like bouncing a little bit. It's not too much, so it's only a little tiny bit of seaweed. I got Continental rods and they seem to be fine at the moment. It's not like really snaggy down here, but we've been told basically when you wind it in, just wind as fast as you can so you don't get caught on the ledges coming up. When you come down and see how many ledges it is, you can see why. I'm going to give that Sandio rod a wind in a minute. Change it over. On the next one, because we didn't bring enough clips for the rotten bottoms, I'm just going to put a normal one on. Just touch wood, it don't get stuck. It should be okay. It's not too snaggy down here. Not what we've come across at the moment, anyway. I'm sure last time I came for a walk on low water, it wasn't that far out until it was sand. Unless it's to the right of us, which is more sand. I can't remember thinking about it. We'll soon see when it hits low water anyway. It has been a few years since I come down on the water though. But I don't think it went up that far until it was sand. I might have a bite on our left hand rod. That's the rod I'm going to check in a minute. So I'm going to give it a wind in, and if there's anything on it, I'll bring you back. I'll see you in a minute, guys. I know I've said it a few times today, but I'm sure I had a bite then. Sure I did. Because I was looking down at trying to do my baiting up, and I'm sure my rod tip sprung back. Not sure. Problem is I can't guarantee it because I didn't actually see it 100%. And I have to keep an eye on it. You never know. Fingers crossed. Come on, shoot. I know I said I don't want to catch a doggy, obviously, but anything to start off with would actually do. I think that's seaweed on our right hand rod. Oh. Wind and look, Rick, wind and look. That's what the professionals doing, eh? Wind and look at the rod tips like this. That's why I can't do it, because I'm not professional. If I had any good bites, I would have missed it because I was looking down. So if you've seen the rod tip doing this, and I wasn't doing anything, it's because obviously I couldn't see it. But the chances are I wasn't acting. Let's try again. Got nothing on. Yeah, that one's to go. That one's to go. I'll bring you back in a bit, guys, if anything else happens. Just so you're wondering, if you're wondering where Dad is, he is here. Just on a bit of a downer day today, so you're mainly going to see me on camera. It's not that I've taken over the channel before any of you think of it. He's okay, he's just his depression kicking in and stuff, so he's come for the fishing just to do him mentally, well. Oh, I think I got a bite. Apologies about the talking over that then. Put this down, I mean, guys. That was going quite well then. Yeah, anyway, guys, so I was just watching my tip because wasn't sure if I had a decent bite then, so I'm going to look upwards and talk to you. So yeah, anyway, Dad's on a bit of a downer day, so I'm doing the filming. Obviously I'm still talking to him, he's only down by there, and he's just going to enjoy the fishing. You might see him on camera later on if he perks up a little bit, I suppose. But at least he's out fishing. He's doing the water good. I'll bring you back in a bit, guys. Also, guys, what I'll do, I'll show you when we leave, and I'll show you basically the way back to the car. You can see what you've got to walk down. You've got the steps. So basically, you type in on your phone, Fontegary Holiday Park. You park in the car park, which is pretty much down the bottom. You walk down the slope next to the Indian place, As you walk down the slope, you see the lifeguard station. It's only a little tiny, it's basically a shutter for the lifeguards. You walk down the steps then, straight onto the beach. Just be careful because the steps, yeah, just be careful because the steps can be quite slippy. You basically walk straight on the beach then, walk to the left about 80 yards, roughly. Don't go too far to the left because it can get snaggy down here. So yeah, as long as you're around about the 80 yard mark, you should be okay. But don't come down here on a tide anything past a 10.6, I'd say. Today's about 10.6. I've been told this is probably the biggest they'd come on. You want anything a little bit smaller than that. Smaller the better, I suppose. But it's been alright down here. The seaweed has caused a few issues thinking I got a bite and it's not, it's just seaweed. You gotta deal with that, though it doesn't matter. But the rod's still out, the sun's out. I'm happy. Dad's out in the fresh air. He's happy, but obviously, like I said, with his depression and stuff, he doesn't really want to be talking on camera today. So I think there's another couple of hours. Actually, before I say a couple of hours, I don't think it is a couple of hours before high water. Low water, I should say. About an hour, I should say, until low water. Nothing so far. I'm not sure if there's crabs or something out there, because when I was winding my bait in, it did look like it was chewed a little bit. I don't think it was a doggy, because they tend to just swallow it up. Or a lot of conger, they tend to swallow it up as well. It just looked like little bits being picked off. So it's either a lot of fish or crabs, like I said. So there's some information for you. I was supposed to film coming down the steps and stuff, but it's quite hard when you've got luggage and stuff in your hands and you've got slippery steps. I could have wore the head mount today, but I didn't actually think of it, in all fairness. But it don't matter, I'll show you one on the way back. You'll get the gist of it. It's not rocket science, I suppose. You can get given all the information as you need, but the one thing people can't guarantee, you're going to come down here and catch. That's down to you at the end of the day. So if we blank, we blank, and if we catch, we're probably in the right place at the right time. But so far, we're blanking. Few people on the beach enjoying the weather. You have got the campsite at the top of the hill, so if you come down on a sunny day, it's not too bad today actually in 6 weeks holiday, but I imagine it can get busy on you on a really nice day, especially on a weekend. I can't picture coming down on a Saturday or Sunday. I bet it's busy with the kids and stuff. It's a lovely area to fish. I've had a few casts. Touch wood, I haven't been stuck yet. So it's not that snaggy out there really. But I imagine if you do go more to the left, I'd be saying something totally different. It's just nice to get out. With all the house moving and changing jobs and all that sort of stuff, and obviously having the baby as well. Nice just to get that bit of free time just to come fishing. In a bit, guys, I'll bring you back. I probably wouldn't have caught anything. I don't want to jinx it, but you never know. I'll bring you back in a bit. See you in a minute, guys. I don't know, let me spin it around.
Richard just had a bite. Only a small tap. I had one of these over Conap the other night. I don't know how his hook got in his mouth. But a fish is a fish.
Fish?
Is a fish.
Look at that.
Richard's first fish on Fontagheri. So, and it's not a silver eel, it is a proper conger eel.
See?
It's just a very, very small one. But a fish is a fish. Well done,
Oh, it
Rich.
counts. Saves the blank, doesn't it, guys?
Yeah, that's all we need now is his mother or his father.
And that was caught on sand eel.
Oh, sand eel, there we are.
I'm going to stick another sand eel on
Yeah.
now.
Alright.
And get it out there.
If we get a bigger one, we'll come back to you guys.
Every time I said I had a bite, I turned the camera off because I got fed up of the actual rod not going like this. Because every time I said I had a bite, it didn't film it really. My rod was going like this, so I didn't put the camera on, and that's when I had that eel. It's always typical. It's always the same. But I'll bring you back in a bit, guys. If we get another fish. We are specifically after the rays, just so you know. Especially the blonde rays, or any ray really. You mainly get blondes and spotted and stuff, don't you? But if that eel or another conger is the only fish we catch or whatever, then I'll take that on the chin. I'll have that all day long. It's the first trip. We'll probably definitely come down here again. It's really nice down here. It's actually not too dangerous either. I do understand if it was raining, and maybe if it wasn't sunny and all the rocks were wet, then obviously it can get dangerous. But today, with our boots on, it's not too bad. As long as you're careful, you should be okay. I'll bring you back in a minute, guys. Yeah, just to give you some information, guys. Previously I did say the sand wasn't that far out in front of us, but I actually got it wrong. So if you go down to the right of it, there is sand. I remember seeing sand somewhere, but obviously it was to the right. It's like a beach part of, like a bay of sand. But out in front of us, by the look of it, it's a bit further out where the sand must be. Because we're not getting stuck, so we're not, you know, we're not fishing on the ledges, I suppose. Well, it don't seem like we're fishing on ledges. So the sand is out there somewhere, but I just can't tell you how far out it is. But as long as you got a decent cast on you, you should be more than landed on the sand. Just like I said, you just got to wind in fast to get it up and over the ledges when you're coming in. But yeah, I actually thought it was sand only 20 yards, 30 yards out in front of us, but it's not. So I got to backtrack myself. I did get it wrong. But I did remember seeing sand, but it was over that side. But nothing else yet, guys. We still got another, well, a few hours to be honest with you. It's just turned low water. We've got to fish it back up on ourselves, so I don't get stung by a bee. So you never know, later on we might they might switch on. Apparently it does switch, but it does fish better just before high water. You never know. The congers might come on a munch, at least. I'll bring you back in a bit, guys. So I thought I'd give you so I thought I'd show you what we so I thought I'd show you what me and Dad use for hook lengths. So we use, sometimes it does vary what we can get hold of, but at the moment we're using a Tropronics 75-pound hook length breaking strain. It's brilliant stuff, stretches, it straightens out really nice, you don't get any like twists and stuff. So yeah, I really do recommend that stuff if you're looking for some new hook length material. Like I said, it's 75 breaking strain. You can get it higher, I think you can get it £100, but we set off at 75. The fish we catch, to be honest with you, 75 is more than enough. If we was going specifically for like big congers or massive blonde rays and stuff, then I'd up it obviously to the £100 breaking strain. But like I said, most of the venues we go to are not known for the big massive fish. But even if we did have a decent sized blonde ray, say 15-16 pound, it's more than capable of bringing it in. And then for my reels, because I've got fixed bores, I'm also using the tapered leader from £15 to £50. Again, I do like to use normally more than £50 breaking strain, to be honest with you. I tend to use about £60. I can get away with that with casting and stuff. So it's been really good stuff, it's really strong. I've used it for years, to be honest with you. Either this one or I got another one which I used, but I've run out of it. I recently bought some of this. It's £80 breaking strain. It's not actually intended for hook lengths and stuff, but I've tried it, I've made some rigs with it, I've stretched it, and it doesn't seem to be coming back in with any twists or anything like that, so it seems to be good stuff. So I'm going to keep using it because it's £80 breaking strain. What it cost me, £6.50 for the, you know, for a decent sized spool. But I'm going to keep using it, keep trying it. If I do start getting twists and stuff, I won't be using it. But if that does happen, I will let you know. Yeah, with our hooks as well, guys, we like to use the Varivas Aberdeens in 3/0s. For the smooth ones, we tend to use either 3/0s or 2/0s. To be honest with you, I've never had a problem with them. We've caught double figure blonde rays with them. They've never bent, they've never snapped. So we just keep using them. We've caught Congrio, Dad's caught like a 14-15 pound Congrio. Didn't bend it, didn't snap it or anything, so they're pretty strong hooks. Obviously, if I'm going to go for bigger fish, bigger congers and stuff, I'd use bigger hooks, stronger hooks obviously. But for your normal fishing, they do pretty much 90% of your fishing that you want to do. Depending on what size hooks you want to use. If you want to use them for, say, flat fishing, you use smaller sizes. We have used different hooks for like flat fish and stuff. But yeah, that's what we use 9 times out of 10. Like I said, the new line that I got, £80 breaking strain. If you're gonna go for like big eels or anything like that, like I just said, use £100. Because even £100 there, especially congers here, just bite straight through it. And you'll go home crying because you're using £50, £60 breaking strain. I don't want you blaming me if that happens. So yeah, that's what we're using. I got my little, if I can get it on. Everyone uses different things. I use a lot of Stanley tool, a lot of pokes I suppose. I try and swing the camera down. So that's basically what I got. I got some beads by there. I got some rotary clips on this side. I got your lot of sequels for your, like your flatfish and stuff. £100 breaking strain swivels. You got your smaller swivels then for like your flatfish and just smaller fish I suppose. Then I got my clips that I clip on. I use this one for clipping onto my, well sorry, I tie my main line to this, my shock lead I should say, straight to that, and I clip that in onto my rig. And obviously I got, obviously like I said, I got my big swivels, I got some hooks there, they range from say 3/0s, and I got smaller hooks, like them ones for like the little flatfish. So yeah, I got more swivels here, clip-on ones, Gemini ones, and I got my Gemini splash downs as well. And I did have my rotten bottoms in one of these compartments, but like I said, I did run out of them. So that's my little tackle box I use. Pretty much everything that I use is pretty much in here. I have got bits and bobs at the bottom of my box, but it's not really things I use all the time. So yeah, that's what Team Shepherd are using. There's probably certain areas where, you know, a good angler would say, well, I wouldn't use that, or you wouldn't use that, but for me and Dad, for our type of fishing, you know, like the rotary clips, even Bradley Riseborough, if you know him, even he was recommending these to us. They're really good. They actually are cheap, but they're reliable. I wouldn't buy them if they were cheap and they were naff and they kept breaking and stuff. I wouldn't be using them. But to be fair, for what you get for your money, they're fantastic clips. So we'll bring you back in a bit, guys.
Up on the crab rock. Yeah, look.
Yeah?
I can have this, Dad. I can have this, Dad. It's off. It's off. Oh, yeah, look.
Yeah?
I've got a smooth on it.
You got a smooth on? They should have one gone flat.
Yeah. You're going to have to one like cut with. I'll just put it back on fine. Just put it back on fine.
Why do you not spot though?
I don't know. It's time to get. This has gone down tight right now, look at it. You get it?
Yeah. I don't enjoy the bike, but at least if I get it in, it's on the way. I can't see why it's that. I feel like I'm being booked up. Look at that, I'm like a professional. I'm a professional on my end. Let me just grab the camera, guys, and I'll take it down to Dad.
That's the one I said I put two on, didn't I?
Yeah.
Hey!
There we are, guys. That's smooth on. Happy days. Lovely. I know you're not supposed to pick up, but stay up over the ledges.
Oh, we have
It's a
to.
bit risky. But lovely, jubbly. Happy days.
I'm shaking like a leaf.
Right, go and put your rod up on. I'll bring you back in a minute, guys.
Right, brilliant. Well, guys, what can I say? I just put crab on now. I cast it as far as I possibly could. I put the two of them right out. One on crab and one on double squid and a bit of crab. It was either a bit of crab or squid and sand eel. Well, I haven't been feeling my best today, but believe me, being out in this fresh air and having a bite, I wouldn't have cared if this would have only been a 10-inch little eel. It was so excited to get a bite, but look at that. Isn't that brilliant? My first Fontaghetti fish luck. That is brilliant. Right, we won't keep him out too long, guys, because it is warm down here. We'll pop him back now and get back to you if we get anything else. Okay?
Yeah. Out you go, guys. Lovely, lovely. Good job you got baddies on. Let's get back up on your This is where it gets dodgy, doesn't it?
Was it worth going?
It was.
Brilliant, good,
Congrio and a smooth hound.
good, good.
There we are, guys. So I was going to show you all the way back to the car, but I got halfway up the steps and the camera battery died. It's always typical, but you get the gist of it. You just got to walk up the steps, up the slope, and then basically as you come up the slope, the car park's pretty much right in front of you. If you're, you know, got bad legs or anything like that, just be careful. I don't recommend it if you have got bad legs, because it's not the best for you, to say the least. But we finished off with a congrio and a smooth hound, sorry. A lot of congrio, I should say, and a smooth hound. So we're both happy. Dad sat next to me, but yeah.
I'm sweating after walking up them steps with my big heavy box. I think Richard put all his weights in my box. But yeah, we had a lovely time, guys, so we'll see you again next week. You can't see me properly.
Yeah, you can.
We'll see you again next week with a bit of luck, once we got the weather and the time, with Richard starting his new job on Thursday. But if he got any days off next week, we'll try and get out again. Let's hope so. See you later, guys.
See you soon, guys. Team Shepherd.
Yep.
don't forget as well, guys, if you enjoy the videos, give us a subscribe, hit the red button, and don't forget as well to hit the notification little bell. Every time we post up, you'll have a notification to say Team Shepherd have posted, and we'll see you soon.